Hi guys, and welcome back to the Revit architectural training tutorial. In this chapter we are going to learn about the project browser. This is your interface with all of the assets you create, keeping all your project information in just one place. As you develop your project within Revit, you're going to create many different assets. These assets will typically include floor plan views, elevations views, section views, schedules, perspective and 3D views, etc. As you work with your project, you will be constantly switching between these views. You will need to rename some of them. You will probably want to duplicate some of them in order to create new views. The project browser is your interface with all of these assets, keeping all your project information in just one place. When you start a new design, you would create a new Revit project. This project file would have a RVT extension. This file will be saved in your local hard drive or network drive. All the information you develop for this new Revit project resides inside the single project file. Unlike AutoCAD, you do not create separate files for plans, 3D views, details, etc. This single file approach makes it really efficient to navigate around your project. All the information you develop for this new Revit project resides inside the single project file. Open your project in Revit and you have everything there in one place. Think of the project browser as being very similar to Windows Explorer on a PC. You use Windows Explorer to find your way around the various folders and files that you have created. You open files, rename them, copy and delete them, etc. The project browser is very similar. It's just that you are working with views, schedules, legends, details, etc. all within your project. Let's now take a look at the project browser in detail and how we navigate around it. As your project gets larger and more complex, you will generate an ever-increasing number of assets. No two projects will ever be the same, with regards exactly how many views you create or how you have named them. However, there is still an underlying commonality with regards how the project browser is organized and used. Let's have a look at the different sections of the project browser. Group name, in this case, I have pointed to the floor plans group name. Please note that Revit creates these group names automatically. New group names are created automatically by Revit if needed. For example, you create a new section view, Revit will automatically create a new group name sections and place your view in that group. Other group names in the image above include ceilings, plans, elevations, 3D views, families and Revit links. View names, these are the individual views that you create. You can almost think of these as individual files in Windows Explorer. You can rename these views, delete them and also duplicate them. We will look in detail how to create new views and duplicate in the next units. Please note, the active view is always shown in bold, as in our example here. The expand and collapse groups. Each group can be either expanded, to show all the views it contains, or collapsed, to just show the group name itself. Simply click on the plus symbol or menu symbol next to the group name in order to expand or collapse it. This facility is really useful as your project browser starts to fill with many different views. Just as we saw with the properties palette in the previous chapter, the project browser can be docked in various locations within the Revit application window. It can also float above the workspace and, like the properties palette, be docked on a second monitor. Again, as with the properties palette, you will almost certainly want continuous access to the project browser whilst you are working in Revit. You can't easily navigate around your project without it. But what if you've accidentally closed it? Well, to get it back, just right-click in the drawing area, and select from the floating context menu, Browsers, and then, Project Browser.
Ready, fight!
An average large-scale project contains more than 1,000 drawings and requires a lot of coordination and continuous updates. Let's compare how the AutoCAD workflow works, compared with Revit. If you manage the workflow with AutoCAD, you will have one file per drawing. At the end of the day, more than 1,000 DWG files need to be coordinated, updated, and linked, one by one, to sheets. On the other hand, managing the workflow with Revit keeps all the project information just in one central file automatically updated.